Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Board Games Unlocked, and Zach and I are doing a no-run-through review for Onitama Light and Shadow. This is the newest expansion to Onitama, and I gotta say, it is a great expansion. The other one, Way of the Spirit, was... It exists. It was made. It got them money. But this one, I feel like they put a lot of actual effort into it to change up the game drastically.
Yep.
I guess Way of the Spirit, or whatever it was called, was like a mini expansion.
Sure.
But this one is actually like a full-fledged expansion that comes with 2 modes and ninjas. And yeah, both of them play radically different. No new cards to the game, but yeah, they have Way of the Shadow and Way of the Light. So let's talk about Way of the Shadow first, which is the more symmetrical one, where both sides have these cool screens. I was going to say these cool tatami mats, but that's not what they are. So both players have these screens that hide a miniature neoprene mat of the main board, and both of them have a ninja that secretly moves on this mat, taking out pieces of your opponents and potentially their master. What's fantastic about that is the fact that when you use a card to move your pawn and master, you can then choose to move your ninja in a different way than you use. Yeah. I really like this mode. I feel like both players have equal options and equal knowledge, I guess, would be in a game that's Onitama, where everything is open knowledge. This does throw a wrench in things because it's not open knowledge, which some people actually might not like. Imagine if you were playing chess and some people had secret, something secret, and you're like, I don't have any of that. And because you don't have to move your ninja, it definitely throws a wrench into things. Cause this is really, honestly, actually, now that I think about it, yeah, it drastically changes the game.
Yeah, it's a different game.
It is a different game.
It's
now that I'm thinking about it, actually, it does kind of, it can easily make it equally frustrating, because I know everything that you can do at any given time in any game of Onitama. I can theoretically know, okay, you most likely moved your ninja, but I don't know that, so I can't use my cards to try and capture him.
Right. I'll say that if you want a little bit less abstract game and a more puzzling out your opponent style game. So to me, it's less chess, it's more poker.
I guess, yeah.
Is what the Shadow brings, honestly. Because even when we played, I didn't move my ninja every single time.
Yeah.
It didn't seem optimal to move him every single time.
But I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, every time I moved him.
I'll say for me at least, and it shouldn't be hard, but thinking about moving the pawn with the card and then thinking about the ninja as a completely separate unit that can move a different way as the card, for my brain, just trying to think those two parallel lines of strategy was hard. Yeah. With the Shadow.
Yeah, no, that's fair. The only limit to your ninja is you can't move it into a spot with your... You can't move a pawn into the spot with it, because it's theoretically, if it's in the middle, it's as if it's in the middle on the board.
Right.
And so if your pawn is there, you're blocking it. If your opponent moves into there and your ninja's there, it gets taken. But the fact is, I feel like, yeah, in the Way of the Shadow, it is kind of like you're hedging your bets. And you're like, okay, I guess I'll move here and hope their ninja's there. You can probably deduce, 50-50. He might be there, he might not, based off the cards that you played.
And you start with 2 less pawns.
Yes, you do.
Which
opens up I feel like actually opens up the board
a lot. To the point where trying to figure out where everybody's ninja is starts becoming semi-difficult, because there aren't enough pieces to basically either be taken or get in the way of someone's trying to move through them.
Yeah, exactly. And, I mean, the ninja can take pawns, but you're only ever going to do that if you can look at your opponent's 2 cards and be like, okay, there's no way he can take my ninja.
Right.
So it's a free pawn grab.
But even then, you give them information of where that ninja is, and then they can start deducing again. Now it's another start point of deducing where that ninja is going to be.
Yeah.
Because they can now see all the cards you have and can figure out, well, your ninja can only move if you use 4. That ninja possibly can only move to those 3 locations.
Yeah, or not move at all. And then,
right.
But that with the ninja, it means you have to essentially memorize the cards that you played in sequence.
Yes.
And just imagine, like, since you don't have to move it, it's like, okay, I played 4 cards. You're no one's gonna think he didn't move it
4
at
times,
all,
yeah.
or he moved it 4 times. But then it's just, yeah. Actually, funny enough, now that we're discussing it a little bit more, I don't know if I do like it. I think it's neat. I think it's a cool concept, and it definitely changes Onitama completely.
Yes.
But does it change what Onitama is so great about? The reason I give it a 10 out of 10 for abstract games.
Yes.
It does, yeah.
I would agree it changes. So, and again, it's an expansion, so it's going to be cheaper. So if you want, in essence, a different game that follows a lot of the same rules, you don't want to learn tons of new rules, it's not a bad expansion, probably.
No, it's not. I mean,
But realize you're not playing Onitama anymore.
If you really love Onitama for what it is, the chess replacement is what it was for me. The Light and Shadow expansion,
it's gonna be rough.
it is not that. You do get 2 lanterns that are essentially one-time use each that allow you to illuminate a column or row.
Yep.
And that tells me you can only do it at the end of your turn, which allows you to at least
have a guesstimate.
Yeah, because it's kind of like it revealing the ninja. It's like, okay, I know your one ninja is there. Okay, what card did you play? Okay, that's probably where he is.
Which I will say, and I kind of figured it out, is rows are more important than columns when illuminating, because you can get, like, if you went all 4 times, you had the ability to move forward 4 times, I can at least figure out, are you in 2 of the 4 rows?
Yeah.
That you could possibly have been in.
Yeah, that's true. Well, see, I would say the lanterns, I think it depended on the cards that we happen to have.
Yeah.
Because if you have a lot of vertical forward movement, or a lot of horizontal movement, that's when knowing columns is good.
Yep.
So the lanterns are neat, but I personally don't find them useful in this, because it's like, oh, cool, I know where your ninja's at. Anyway, go. So now you moved him, or didn't move him, and I could, because you want to essentially try and remove their ninja. So then you're trying to chase them, and you don't win if you kill their ninja. So you're trying to chase them with your pawns, and then it's like, okay, well, now I'm just wasting my time.
Yep. Now, on the reverse side, I mean, it does definitely change the game. So if you want a game that's a little bit more, I want to get in the head of my opponent more than Onitama is. Onitama, I don't have to think about what my opponent's going to play, really.
Yeah.
It's, you look at the cards, they have 2 options. You can kind of deduce what's the most practical one. With the shadow portion of this expansion, you actually got to think about, okay, is this guy bold enough that he's just going to rush with the ninja? Is he, stealthy that he's going to take some time and work it around to try to get to just the previous spot? Or is he more like me, where I'm going to set it right here in the middle? You have 4 different options to take it, but if it doesn't get taken, I take your king.
Yeah.
And it's just gutsy move now.
Yeah, which is interesting, because I didn't play it that way, and I won in this mode.
Yeah.
Was because I basically, I did look at your options.
Yeah.
So I did the opposite of the way you were playing, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna move my ninja up, and you knew where he was, but I also knew at that point you can't do anything about it.
There wasn't anything to do.
So I'm like, so it's interesting. So you can play the way of the shadow in 2 different ways, and it works. I feel like your way works better for the other mode.
Yeah,
the way of the
probably.
light. This one, because you manipulate your ninja just like you do a normal pawn. It is kind of like thinking of what options your opponent has, similar to chess. Okay, here's what he can do. Can I counteract that? Here's the card that he's going to get. Can I counteract that with what I have? Can I position to where he doesn't matter what he has with my ninja, and then I just take his master. Yeah, it's really weird. It's a weird expansion.
Yep.
like at first, whenever we were talking, I'm like, yeah, this is good. Then the more I was like, but is it? Like, at what point does an expansion change the base game too much that it's a whole nother game? And is that a good thing?
Yeah.
Like, I guess it
can be a good or a bad thing.
Yeah.
It's just up to the person, I think.
Yeah. So the way of the shadow is, I feel like it's more balanced just because it's the same that your opponent can do. It's more similar to Onitama than the other version.
Yep.
So Way of the Light is a second mode you can play, where only one person has 2 ninjas, and that's it. And the other person has his full repertoire of
students
and master.
Yep.
And the light player can win by getting his master onto it, or by
killing both
ninjas. I personally don't like that mode. I don't want to sit here and guess, even though in that mode you do have to move ninjas. The fact that you have 2 makes it very, very difficult, because it's not like I can be like... Because they're both hidden. I think that's the problem, is since they're both hidden, my lanterns effectively don't help me.
Right.
I think. I can be like, oh, are you in this row or column? Yes. Okay, that's it. It doesn't tell me, like, how many. Like, maybe if you had to tell me how many there were, that would help. It's, for me, with Onitama specifically, taking an open information game and being a head-to-head of strategy, and then making it where one player has all the information and one player has none, or very, very minimal. I don't personally like that. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's... I can't necessarily say it's unbalanced. I feel like it is. And if it's not, then it's not necessarily that fun. And I didn't like it on both sides. Like, I didn't like being the person hiding, and I didn't like being the person that wasn't hiding.
So I didn't feel like it was unbalanced on either side. I could see that the way the person playing the light with just the master and everything, I think there's a straight path more forward for that person than the person with the ninja.
Yeah.
Because again, like you said, because you have 2 ninjas,
everything you do is masked.
Yes.
Yeah.
If one of my ninjas is starting to get in a little bit of a tricky spot, I can move the other ninja and kind of hold, because I know we can't take it right now, and if he moves out of the way, it opens me back up. So I have, in essence, a stall to get out of the way.
That is true.
I did find, kind of differently, I didn't want to take any of your pieces. If I was in the if I was the ninja person, I don't want to take pieces. That gives you too much information.
Yeah, that's true. There's no reason for you to.
No.
Except for the off chance that I memorized the cards that you were playing and then just move. Because I feel like they tried to balance it out. 2 ninjas, but I have all my pieces. And numbers should just jump across. But because you can see everything and I just have to kind of guess, like, you could be here and play something, but I don't necessarily know that you're there, because you could have kept one piece not moved and moved the other one. So you're moving all of the cards, you're moving one over here, just going back and forth and slowly inching one person over.
And that was like when I played the light and you were the ninja. I kind of got lucky and killed the first ninja early, but then I kind of knew where you were, and I even said, like, I think you're right here, and you were close. You were a space or 2 away, but I wasn't exact, and I was watching and memorizing exactly what cards you were playing.
Right.
And knew that's the sequence, and this is the most logical ones that he was going to be.
I mean, because that's the thing, is like the opposing player wins by killing 2 ninjas, or landing his master. There's nothing stopping you from having both ninjas and just going in circles around the throne, and then it's like, because you think I'm moving up, trying to attack your master, and then whenever you advance and then you move, it's like, okay, now I'm going to kill him. I win.
It crossed my mind that you just do that.
Yeah, and that's not in the spirit of the game.
Right.
I mean, because in regular Onitama, you win, once again, by killing the master or by taking their throne. So if you as one player is not moving your master, then you're essentially saying, I'm trying to kill your master.
Yeah.
But in the Way of the Light variant, the ninjas win by killing that, and it feels it's way easier to do that than the other player is to guess where you're at and kill both your ninjas.
Yep.
So then you just puppy guard the arch or the throne or whatever it's supposed to be. And then, like, if you move here, it's like, okay, good, I have crab. Now I'm just going to kill him.
Right.
And it's like, I thought you were all the way up here. It's like, nah. And maybe it'd be more balanced if the light player, like, with the pieces, had 4 lanterns.
Yeah.
But they kept it the same.
I would have said give them all the lanterns.
Yeah. Yeah, or
honestly, even if you could, in essence, have the lanterns that you could keep using them. You get 1 per turn.
Yeah.
I don't know that that would be overpowered, honestly.
Probably not, because in my mind, it's like, even if I use a lantern, I'm like, okay, are you in this row?
I have a chance of moving.
You have a chance of moving, that's the other thing. But the other part is, let's say both of your ninjas are there. You just have to say yes.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, it's been 7 cards since you've started the game. Are both of them there?
Yeah.
I just feel like in this variant, there's a lot of ways it could have been improved to make it more balanced. Because imagine, like, if you were playing any hidden movement game and there were 2 Draculas or 2, because that's essentially what it is, kind of. It is a hidden movement game. So you have 2 Draculas, 2 Jack the Rippers, 2 whatever, and you couldn't discern, where either of them, like, which one was which.
Yep.
So we have an expansion that, like, if I were to play it, but that's the other thing, is I don't think I would play this expansion over regular Onitama. Like, I think the Way of the Shadow is the better of the 2. I don't know which one you like better.
I probably actually like the Way of the Light, but it's probably how my brain works.
But, which is interesting that you do like the Way of the Light better, because of the way, like, with mind management. Like, because I don't think you liked it whenever you played it with Zach, right?
I wanted to play it again because we only got through half a game, and I don't think I understood all the rules, how people searched and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
And so it's one of those games where I don't know that I want to say I liked it or disliked it, because I do like hidden movement games.
Yeah, so, right. But hidden movement games are definitely... I remember seeing someone say... Like, it was a post on, like, the board game group, and it was like, are hidden movement games fun? And someone commented, they're like, I feel it's more fun for the person hiding. And I'm like, that might actually be true. I definitely enjoy being the hidden one versus...
If you don't like working cooperatively with people, then you want to be the hidden one. If you like what I call that group decision making, which I work with those type of people, you don't want to be the hider.
Yeah.
You want to be the one that's like, oh, but if this is the map out.
No, I mean, I definitely get that. I love cooperative games. My top 10 games were, I think almost all of them were cooperative.
Yeah.
I feel like I like being the person with all the information, and most hidden movement games for, like, probably the beginning portion is shooting in the dark until you finally get something, and then it's like, okay, now we can start going down the path. But yeah, the Way of the Light, or Way of the Light was one person. So in that mode, I liked being the ninjas, obviously because I had all the information.
Yep.
But yeah, so you have an expansion, Light and Shadow, that both modes drastically change where Onitama to where it's not Onitama anymore.
Right.
And for me, one is better than the other because one
is
it's fair on both sides.
Yeah.
Both sides don't have perfect information, and it's closer to Onitama than the other mode.
Right.
So that's kind of where I'm at on the Light and Shadow. Definitely a lot better than the Spirit one, which was such a nothing expansion.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's weird. That's so weird, because I remember reading this, and I'm like, oh, that's so cool. And then it's very rare that expansion makes me go, no, I don't think I need this.
But I do say it is a cool concept.
It is a cool concept, yeah.
It just takes Onitama away from what it is. Which, again, Onitama was such a clean game.
Yeah.
I don't think you could add anything to it that wouldn't muddy it a bit.
No, besides just different cards, which they already did.
Yeah.
Like, that's in and of itself. That's just like... all right, we're playing chess. I have this special piece that you don't get because of this weird mode.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's interesting. So I guess kind of what I'm coming down to is both expansions for Onitama you don't need.
I would agree.
I can't imagine anyone's playing Onitama and they're like, you know what this needs? A hidden movement element. You know what this needs? Ninjas.
Well, it might need ninjas, but it might not
for
be
theme
hidden.
alone.
Yeah.
But even then, no, it's about like martial arts. It's like it's a master and student, and like schools fight, like what they did. And then it's like, oh, by the way, now there's a ninja. I guess kind of with Way of the Spirit, if you're bored out of your mind with regular Onitama, then definitely get this one over Way of the Spirit. It is superior. It flips it way on its head. And is a completely different way of thinking. Maybe if people don't like the head-to-head, like, planning 4 moves ahead, like what chess or Onitama does regular, where it's like, okay, this is everything that we can do. Now it basically comes down to skill,
right?
On who can math out the correct modes, or counter what your opponent can do with these same cards. If you don't think like that and you don't like thinking like that, then definitely grab Light and Shadow because it changes the game drastically.
It does. To
where maybe it levels the playing field that way. I don't know. That would be interesting to know.
Yep.
You got anything else on Light and Shadow?
No.
Okay, so on the scale of 1 to 10, what would you give Light and Shadow?
Probably 6.5.
Yeah.
So I was thinking
that feels about right.
Gave Onitama 8.5,
yeah.
And the Way of the Spirit was a 5. It's better than Way of the Spirit, but it doesn't improve Onitama.
No. In fact, it actually, if Light and Shadow was how Onitama was played, it wouldn't be a 10.
Yeah.
Like, so Onitama's a 10. Playing with Light and Shadow would lower that, but that's not fair to the base game. Yeah, it doesn't improve it for me either. 6.5 feels pretty good. Yeah, 7 feels too high.
7 feels too high.
But 6 does feel a little too low.
Right.
Because I appreciate the hidden movement, and I like that in those types of games.
Yep.
But I don't like it in my abstract strategy games, I guess.
Right.
It's kind of like a good comparison is, have you ever played BattleCon?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So 1v1 like 2D fighter game.
Okay.
I think you would like it a lot. That is almost perfect knowledge because you know what your opponent has played and you know what cards are in his hand. You just don't know the combo. So you're trying to read what his most optimal thing is going to do and what can you play to counter that.
Got it.
There's another game similar to that called Exceed, which is the same style 2D fighting game, but you have a deck. And I don't like Exceed because it's like, well, I don't know at any point what you're drawing, so I can't try and...
There's too much random.
Yes. So that's kind of what this brought. That's the only analogy I can think of.
Right.
All right. So that's our thoughts on Light and Shadow. Let us know what you think of the game in the comments below. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you. Hey everyone, thank you for watching, and I really hope that you enjoyed the video. If you would like to see more of my content, go ahead and click that subscribe button and the bell to be notified whenever I upload any new content. If you feel like supporting the channel, you can go ahead and click that Patreon link to be taken to my Patreon, and any help is truly appreciated. Other than that, stick around for any other run-throughs or reviews or cool top 10s or whatever I feel like putting on. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you.